A tragic scene played out in an eastern Kentucky neighborhood this morning. A fire broke out at a home on Cherry Street in Irvin in Estill County. 2 people were found dead inside. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to their friends and family on how they are being remembered as the investigation into the cause continues.
There's a lot of questions after fire destroyed a house and took the lives of 2 people this morning.
I really don't know anything much, but I just know a fire happened and something exploded and it just caught really fast and burned the house down. Caitlin Neal says her mother, Melissa Henry, and her boyfriend, Chris Pop, died in the fire. I would like her to be remembered as a loving and kind person and very happy, and I don't want anybody to remember all the bad stuff, you know.
The cause is still under investigation, but there did appear to be more particular interest in the rear of the house as investigators were spending most of the time in that part of the house. That is also where there appears to be more damage. Neighbors rushed to help when they learned about the 2 that were still inside.
But my husband took a brick and busted out the side window and was going to try to go through the window to get them out.
The smoke was too thick and there was already too much damage done.
Just think about her. I mean, there's somebody's mother, somebody's child. As a mother myself, I automatically think that, you know, my heart breaks for them.
Officials say the 2 were sent to the state medical examiner for autopsies. In Estill County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
In addition to Irvin firefighters, the county fire department, along with 2 other city departments, responded. New developments in a deadly shooting case out of Pike County. Police arrested a 3rd person in connection with the shooting, Michael Shortridge. Shortridge was arrested and charged with murder, according to court documents. The shooting happened last weekend in the Steele community. Michael Brown and Anthony Browning were also charged in the case. The shooting resulted in the death of Christopher Lester. Kentucky State Police say Douglas Harless was shot and killed by a London police officer on the night of December 23rd. It has now been 3 weeks, and police have remained tight-lipped about the shooting. Tonight,
court records show London police were at Douglas Harless's home to serve a search warrant connected to stolen lawn equipment belonging to Laurel County Judge Executive David Westerfield. This police report says London police were called to the property just before 9:30 a.m. on December 23rd, the day Harless was killed. According to the report, the caller was Westerfield's nephew, Charles Hensley, and he told police equipment belonging to himself and his uncle had gone missing. Hobart Buttry was arrested in connection to the theft at 7:34 p.m., according to his arrest citation. Now, a dispatch report from that night explains minute by minute what happened. The run started at 11:26 p.m., labeled as serving a warrant. That's when 7 officers are dispatched and later shown en route to 489 Van Zant Road. Using documents obtained through open records requests, we've identified them as these 7 officers. They arrive at 11:48. Surveillance video from a neighbor shows officers making several attempts to knock on Harless's door and announcing themselves before what sounds like 5 gunshots. From the dispatch report, we know an officer told dispatch shots were fired at 11:51. That's when EMS is dispatched to the scene. At 11:52, Chief Jerry Holland is dispatched to the scene. KSP is shown en route 1 minute later. At 11:57, an officer says crews are rendering aid. Just 2 minutes later, another officer notifies dispatch a tourniquet has been applied. Around this time, Officer Cody Arnold is shown arriving at the scene. He's never listed as being dispatched or en route. Several units from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office and EMS units are dispatched and arrive in the meantime. Chief Holland arrives at 12:08 a.m. Assistant Chief Bobby Day shows up 17 minutes later. At 12:55, Officer Josh Morgan is shown arriving at the scene. He's never listed as being dispatched or en route. Seconds later, Officer Morgan and Chief Holland's status is shown as 10:12, which means officials or visitors are present. Less than a minute later, they're both shown heading to police headquarters. Chief Holland and Assistant Chief Day arrive at 1:36 a.m. KSP arrives at 4:22 a.m. and Officer Morgan is shown arriving just seconds behind them. The first 7 officers at the scene also arrive in the moments after. Kentucky State Police are investigating the shooting as is standard practice for shootings involving law enforcement. They have not released the name of the officer who fired the shot that killed Harless.
We're still working to obtain a copy of the warrant police were serving that night as questions have been raised about whether police were at the wrong home. The Corbin Police Department is investigating a series of car and outbuilding break-ins. The incidents happened around the same neighborhood, including on 7th Street, Maple Lane, and residential areas near the Pepsi plant. Police say they believe it is a group of young people, likely minors. All the cars and outbuildings that were rummaged through were unlocked. Robbie Hodge with the Corbin Police Department says it's important for folks to stay vigilant.
Be sure to lock up all of your outbuildings, lock up your cars at night. If you see someone strange in the neighborhood that's not usually there, go ahead and give us a call. We don't mind a bit. We'd like to come out and check them out and make sure everything's safe.
The department has increased their patrol presence in those areas. Hodge says you should remove valuable items from your car, and having cameras on your property can also make a big difference. One man who was wanted after leaving the scene of a crash in Powell County has been caught. Jimmy Baker was wanted on an outstanding parole violation warrant. Deputies say he was involved in a crash near Powell Road off Kentucky 82 last night. Baker reportedly ran off after someone was hurt in the crash. Police in Clark County were able to find and arrest him without incident. One of the men charged in connection to the murder of Amber Spradlin is returning to school, and that comes with an amendment to the hours and allowances of his original home incarceration agreement. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has those details and the reaction from Spradlin's family.
An agreed order entered this week in Floyd County Circuit Court drafted a new schedule for the terms of home incarceration for Josh Mullins.
That will allow him to be out of the home for 2 additional hours each week compared to what he was already out. So he was allowed to be out to go to the dental office, and now he can attend the class.
Mullins is charged with 8 counts of complicity to tamper with physical evidence in the murder of Amber Spradlin and was placed on home incarceration last year. With his new schedule allowing him to attend a class at Big Sandy Community and Technical College's Prestonsburg campus, Spradlin's family and the Justice for Amber group have expressed concerns.
We were afraid that there might be some security risk to students on campus because of this.
Spradlin's cousin, Debbie Hall, says she wants the public to know that Mullins is walking around the campus, but also worries how Spradlin's supporters could react.
And people are so upset about it all. And we thought that, there was a potential for maybe some not so nice words or actions going on. We don't advocate that at all. But
Commonwealth's attorney Brent Turner says the small changes to the specifications were not something he and the family wanted to fight in court, knowing the outcome would have been the same.
We are not happy about the fact that he is allowed to do this, but I do understand innocent until proven guilty, and that he does have certain rights.
Hall says they want to let the justice system do what it was meant to do, but it is hard knowing Spradlin was destined for great things.
We're not happy about this. Amber would love to be attending school right now too, and she's not allowed to do that. So we just have to abide by what the judge says and hope that when we have our day in court that we see the justice that we want.
In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Hall says she is thankful for the support of the community, but says the real trial will take place in the courtroom. The next hearing for Mullins, Michael McKinney, and M.K. McKinney is set for February 27th at 2:30 p.m.
Temperatures today were in the mid to upper 40s. Some places even got into the low 50s. We had plenty of sunshine as we rolled throughout the afternoon hours. Had a few high thin cirrus clouds push through, and then the clouds started to increase as we rolled in time throughout the late afternoon and early evening hours. Will stay mostly cloudy as we go throughout the evening hours. Numbers for today played out like this. 39 was the high in Moorhead, 39 in Ashland, otherwise 40s from Prestonsburg to Williamsburg, 50s from Middlesboro down to Jacksboro. And right now we're seeing temperatures in the 30s and 40s. 37 is the current temperature in Wise, 41 in Hazard, 45 in Manchester, 42 in London. Somerset, good evening to you. You're at 43 degrees. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar, and this will get a break for the most part tomorrow. It's when we get into the overnight hours into Saturday morning that live pinpoint Doppler radar will start to get the workout. But we go to 31 by the 1 o'clock time frame. 27s are overnight low. That's where we should be for this time of year anyway. We'll keep the wind out of the west around 5 to 15. But coming up in the next check weather, The near normal temperatures, they are back for a limited time only. Details in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. A school choice advocate is suing the Pulaski County School District, according to the Lexington Herald-Leader. In the lawsuit, a school choice advocate from Texas claims the district's Facebook page blocked him and deleted his comments back in August. Now, that's around the time the district publicly pushed back against Amendment 2. He claims his First Amendment rights were violated. When asked if he had a response, the Pulaski County School Superintendent said he had yet to be briefed on the lawsuit. Governor Andy Beshear hosted a Team Kentucky briefing today, and during that update, the governor said that Kentucky Emergency Management and the Department for Public Health confirmed 6 deaths related to the recent ice and snow. That happened during the time span of January 5th through the 11th. Governor Beshear says some of the deaths were related to overexertion, followed by cardiac arrest that occurred while shoveling snow and ice. The governor did not say what counties those deaths were in. Also during his briefing, the governor announced 3 communities receiving funding in our area. The city of Jackson will get $3 million to replace water lines along Quicksand Road that were damaged by flooding. Letcher County will use $4.2 million to replace more than 8,000 feet of water lines and 2 pump stations. And the city of Jenkins in Letcher County is using $5.2 million to conduct a study about preventing future flooding. One road in Middlesboro is back open following a major downtown fire earlier this week. The city's mayor says Cumberland Avenue has reopened to traffic now. He says the south side of the 20th block will remain closed. The fire happened earlier in a historic building located at 20th Street and Cumberland Avenue. It was a storage building for Cardwell Furniture. Part of that building collapsed.